Hey everybody, welcome to GeekStorm. I'm Sean Hilton and I'm joined today by my best friend in the entire world, Michael Allen Harrison.
Little pause there, I didn't like it.
Today, GeekStorm is being filmed on location at the best toy store in the entire galaxy. Kokomo Toys and Collectibles located at 111 East Sycamore in the heart of downtown Kokomo. Ion Comics Cube located at 121 East Sycamore. These two stores are a mecca of geekdom, nerd culture, toys, comics, and other fun things, and are like 20 feet apart. So come on down to Kokomo and visit us. Today we've got a wide selection of topics to talk about, but first up, we're going to get right into it with the Aladdin teaser has come out today from Disney.
Okay.
This is another live action venture from the Disney crew that attempts to just magically make money. It's like bubble, toil, and money.
Right.
And it just appears. So, the teaser, have you seen this yet, Mike?
Did you say, have you seen this, Mike? Or did you say, have you seen this yet,
yes.
Mike? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Because Duke's heard it too. just
So,
you know.
now are you going to ask him to edit that out and ruin this thing?
Yes.
So it doesn't...
He's going to have to edit a lot this time. Yes, I saw the teaser, yes. And then that's all it was a teaser. A teaser
A
teaser.
tealer?
Uh-huh. Isn't that the Master of the Universe character?
Tila.
Ah, thank you so much.
So about a minute and a half,
Right.
and there is nothing there.
No.
Even for a teaser, there's
guys,
nothing
we're doing
there.
this.
It's desert.
Right.
It's dark.
Right.
It's desert. And if you happen to be a big fan, you will pick out the notes of Arabian Nights, the theme from the Aladdin, the cartoon playing in the background.
Never saw it.
For it to only have one thing of Aladdin being seen, like reaching out towards things, and that's it. In a minute and a half, that's all you got.
Who's playing Aladdin this time?
I have no clue. What?
You have a parrot flying around.
Oh, you know what? I just saw. You never even saw the parrot. You just saw a shadow of a bird flying. I didn't think it was a parrot.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, it was just like, oh, it's a vulture, some horrible thing, because in the middle of the desert.
You can see all the colors.
Okay.
This is live action, that's the difference.
Live action, doing Aladdin.
Guy Ritchie.
That was what I wanted to get to, because I could care less about any of this.
Gotcha.
Until I saw at the end, and it goes by pretty quick. I'm like, whoa. And so I rewound it. Guy Ritchie is directing it. So now I've gone from I don't care about this film to sell me the ticket.
Right.
I want to see it.
Right.
Now, can Guy Ritchie do a Guy Ritchie over-the-top crazy action flick like he usually does with a Disney format?
I would say probably. Did you see King Arthur?
Yeah, I loved it.
Okay, I did too, and that's to me those scenes in the street and the classic Guy Ritchie camera angle and use is he can do that easily in in a tent city and sand and running through marketplaces and stuff like that. It's very similar. So.
Now, is there any point in doing an Aladdin live action without a Robin Williams? Without the genie, without that genie, without Robin Williams as the genie, is this movie relevant?
That's tough because a lot of these that they're remaking, Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin, are all 20 some odd years old now. So those people have grown up. Yeah, Robin Williams is beloved and you can't replace him, but that's certainly not going to keep them from cashing in on their IP. They made millions and millions and millions and billions of dollars on milk. Then somebody decides, let's make chocolate milk, and now we're making live action of all these classic and even modern. We're gonna get Pocahontas. We just had Beauty and the Beast was a huge hit. So
it was, but nobody and I like Beauty and the Beast, but there isn't like a standout. Gaston is probably the big standout character from that.
Sure,
but Aladdin, you think of the monkey, the Aladdin, Jasmine, the parrot.
Robin Williams definitely stole the show.
Yeah, that genie is
whoever
iconic.
it is will be doing himself a service if he doesn't try to impersonate Robin Williams.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
And hopefully the filmmakers realize
I'm going to
that
guess that he's probably just going to be CG.
I heard Will Smith back when this early rumbled a couple years ago.
Really?
Yeah, that's all up now.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
all right.
Duke's look that up. We'll find out.
So some interesting things going on there in a subject that I normally would. I love the original Aladdin, but I gotta say that all these live action things they're doing have so far I've not seen any of them, and nor do they interest me. So there you go. Out of New York Comic Con, we've got a look at the new Harley Quinn trailer, much more than just a teaser, because I guess it was a teaser, but you saw some live action with, is it Kelly Kuoko?
Kuoko. Is it Will Smith? Okay.
Will Smith,
so Will
as,
Smith
the
is,
genie.
is a genie. Wow.
Interesting. Well,
We'll
we'll see how it goes.
Okay. Kelly Cuoco as
Harley
the voice of Harley Quinn.
For the DC network.
Is it the animated thing?
Yes.
Okay.
And more adult. They curse in it. It's her and Poison Ivy. They mentioned Deadpool in their thing. So it looked very funny. It looked very sarcastic, dark, but like a very adult version of the 90s Batman animated adventures.
Oh, okay.
But based on Harley Quinn and her friends, it looks like. So, plus with her coming off of Big Bang Theory, I think it could prove to be quite popular.
And this is on the streaming service?
Yeah, the DC.
I think
the
Titans
DC
drops today, I think.
Is it today?
I think so.
Oh, excellent.
So I don't know what time of day, or if it's already there or what, but I'll check that out.
I think they're doing one episode a week.
Are they?
I think they're doing it like standard television, where
okay.
they won't drop it all at once. You will get standardized television with it. So we'll see how that affects things. So either way, it looked really good though. The animation looked good. Her voice talent as Harley seemed good, and the things that they were saying and doing seemed breaking the fourth wall, very Deadpool-esque. And then even mentioning that, unlike the Deadpool cartoon, which won't exist now, theirs is going to. So it was a good little hit on that. I thought that was well done.
Okay.
So what's this about? The guy from Ghostbusters being mad at your costume group?
I'm not talking about that.
The 501st, and who's he going to call?
I don't.
You've done something to make Darth Maul mad.
I don't.
When he's more relevant than ever, how could you ostracize the greatest Sith Lord of all time? What did you do, Mike?
I'll say what happened, what we know for a fact, and you can say anything you want after that, because that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Ray Park got mad at some members of the 501st and decided to.
And the 501st is a Star Wars costume group?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And quit via Instagram. Gave up his honorary membership or something like that. Then shortly after, Daniel Logan followed suit. That's all I'm gonna say.
So Darth Maul has told the premier costuming group in the world that he's burning up his membership card.
Yes, which
That's
doesn't exist.
sad. Does that make you sad? It makes me a little sad.
I don't know. He did whatever whatever happened. He doesn't have to throw a fit about it on social media. I think that was ridiculous, but whatever.
But isn't that what everybody does now?
Oh yeah, I don't. I really don't throw a fit.
Tell everybody, you just curse a lot. You have a bad potty mouth. bad potty mouth. So has anything been canceled yet off of network television? You've heard anything?
No.
Anything like crash and burn, like after just one episode?
Oh, I don't think so.
Nothing yet. Nothing that we've seen yet.
No.
Magnum's up to 3 episodes. Still seems to be going.
Oh, that's nice.
I've seen 2 out of the 3.
Have you?
I have. Murphy Brown is incredibly politically left. They're doing the exact opposite of, Man of the House with Tim Allen.
Right.
They are definitely appealing straight up to liberal, hardcore. So I don't think it's going to play well in Indiana. But just like it's
speaking of that,
thumping you over the head with it.
yesterday I watched the premiere
enjoyed
of Black Lightning.
How was it?
Well, it was much like you were saying with Murphy Brown, super political.
Really? It does surprise me.
Not red and blue so much as the BLM movement and the cops are killing us type of thing. And the opening scene is this young kid getting choked out by a bunch of cops, and it's all police hate cops. Police hate black people. That would seem like took up the first 15 minutes of this episode.
Yeah.
Now they draped it around the fact that it's like in this town Freeland that the show takes place. Like these metahumans are coming out now. They're we know what's made them. We know, and they're everywhere and they're popping up like mutants now. So,
oh really?
Yeah. So that's what the impetus for the increased cop attention is. But the show itself is using it not in a veiled way at all. You're actually using the words, they're killing black people all the time, and so it's it was a kind of a shock to me that show, or any show really, but a show like that, a fantasy show like that, would just take such a hard line. When Arrow did its kind of commentary on guns a couple seasons ago,
oh jeez,
that was even
Tiptoe.
veiled.
Yeah.
that wasn't even right after this was in your face.
Straight up,
yeah,
in your face.
And
was it handled well?
yeah, I think it was handled fine. It was just. You know how I am in the movie theater. I don't like the guy coming down and checking the temperature with his flashlight. When I feel like things are being thrown at me that take me out of the story, that take me out of what's going on, and make me realize I'm sitting in my living room watching a TV show. That I don't like that. Okay. So I think you can find a subtler way to tell your story, but that's just me. It was a decent episode, and it's a good show.
The creator, Tony Isabella, has taken to talking about it, and he's quite happy with the way first season went and the second season have gone so far. So, so it's been quite popular, and he seems to like it. He's very vocal about these sorts of things. So, wow.
I know. It's my first day.
Amateur hour over here.
It's my first day.
So that seems to be going well, and I like what they've got going on with that. You got wow. It's just
I'm gonna record myself.
Just a little technical difficulty here.
Very excited. So saw the first episode of the new Doctor Who.
Yes.
We've waited a little while. David Capaldi has stepped out of the role. David Moffat, as the showrunner, has stepped out. Have you seen it yet?
Yes.
All right. This is going to take up some time, people. So if you don't like Doctor Who, you might want to skip the rest of this episode. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. So what were your initial impressions of the Doctor herself, and then the new companions, and then just the general gist of a first episode?
I like all the companions.
Okay.
I like what we had going on with them. I like that there's more than one. I think that's kind of new and fresh. I felt like her initially. I felt like, oh, she's doing a Capaldi imitation, and then the more I realized, I'm like, gosh, that's like Capaldi and Tennant, and even Matt Smith sometimes, just very frenetic and just bouncing off the walls and stuff. But I didn't hate it, and I will go so far as to say that I thought she was great. I don't know how an actor, and I guess you could go to Tenet for that, how an actor can maintain that throughout an entire season or
that level of enthusiasm and exuberance.
That's got to be tough, and it may end up being tough on viewers, because when you're watching that, your body reacts and you're emotionally that way also sometimes, and it might be tough for viewers to stay up like that. But they stayed up with Tenet, and so it's possible. I don't know. Anyway, I liked the show. I thought my very first impression of the show in general was the production quality just went up like 10 times. I thought it looked like a movie rather than a BBC TV show. I thought the camera work, whether that's, I guess that would be cinematography or direction, was just so different than what we had seen previously. It looked like I was watching a big budget movie to me anyway. Fresh angles, fresh types of situations and sets and scenes. I really liked it. So.
I guess I had pretty much the opposite reaction than you had. Right. I'm used to now, since Tenet came about, that the first episode of each Doctor is going to be them coming into their own. It is going to be them learning. That's a theme they've done with all of the Doctors, is what kind of Doctor am I going to be? In the old days, they would regenerate. They might be weird for a bit, and then they'd be, they pick their personality. Sure. Since Tenet, it's been very clear, Tennant, Smith, and even Capaldi, that first episode is them changing. She mentions certain things about, she's on fire, her blood's boiling.
She explains more than previous Doctors had to me.
I've been hearing that they're trying to create a new jump-on point for new fans. They expect that because of the jump with a female Doctor, they might see some new eyeballs. Sure. So they want to make this one a little more viewer-friendly. So that's absolutely fine with that. But with Eccleston, with Tennant, and Capaldi not as much, Smith had by far the best introduction, because at the end you see him literally walk through the faces of all his previous incarnations to walk out of the last one, himself now reborn, refitted. I spent 80 minutes or so with this new Doctor to get no payoff on who she is or what she's going to be. And they definitely played up the fact that she was a new person. They went out of their way. So the entire time I'm emotionally invested in learning what is your thing? Who are you going to be? And what is going to be that big aha moment, that switch that has happened with all these other characters where you're like, this is who I am. And then you make this statement. And be very clear about this. This was not the actor. This was writing and the showrunner. There is never a payoff in any of that. And then we get to the big bad. I'm like, all right, they've been very clear they're not using any characters from previous stuff. So
Right.
all original material. I'm like, awesome. Let's see who this guy is. Oh, wow, that first thing opens up with this electrical ball of tentacles. It looks pretty cool. We're like, oh, okay, that's pretty wild. I like that. Weird people walking by. But then when we finally meet the big bad, the most disappointing, lame big bad that may have occurred since we had actual foam blocks falling into scenes from the earliest episodes.
Yeah.
The big bad is a bad, cheap knockoff of the Predator who is sent to Earth to hunt somebody, but not to hunt some elite fighter warrior type, literally to hunt down some guy who's maybe making a little bit above minimum wage at random, Joe Schmo, with no skills whatsoever. And then when we show this visually stunning character who looks like any cosplayer on the planet could have done a better job on his armor, he takes off the mask. And underneath the mask we see this weird pus all over his face. And I'm like, wow, again, we're going straight back to like the then they explain it. He takes the teeth from each victim and places them in his face.
Right.
It doesn't look like cool. It really looks kind of disgusting and gross. Like a kid's bad Halloween costume that you would buy of a generic bad villain dude. So that really turned me off. I thought it was a weak, really poorly done bad guy for her to face as the first thing. I think, like anything else, you want your villain to stack up against your hero to really, but when you find out, it's like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but is he not just like a really bad knockoff of the Predator coming to Earth to hunt lame people?
I will not disagree with you about the villain, about especially the way he looked. The close-ups were not kind to that costume at all. You could really see that it looked like something I put together. The makeup was, different. That's a little more professional, but as far as the armor itself goes, it just wasn't. It wasn't Hollywood quality,
No. Well, and compared to what you're saying earlier, because I do agree that we've stepped up with better, different style of shots and whatnot. Yes. Did that flow smoothly? Yes. It seemed like we got a better technical aspect of Doctor Who, the behind the scenes people. Again, and I want to be very clear that I don't want to dog on the actors yet because I want to give them 3 or 4 episodes.
You should, yes.
To grow into those characters.
Right.
Because we didn't get a sense of what her Doctor is yet. I'm disappointed by that because in all of these extra long episodes and Christmas episodes where we see these new characters, there is a big aha moment.
Right.
But my aha moment wasn't there, and that's fine. Maybe we'll get it. Maybe she'll grow into it. Maybe they'll do something. I did like the companions, but I didn't. This is just nitpicky. The fact that they all know each other and they're all from Kokomo, they're all from the exact same small little town, means they're all going to kind of have even though they're different ages and different races, so we get some ethnic background and some diversity, but they're still going to come from the same way of life. And I'm sure that they will try to play that up. It would have been nice if we were going to do that, this guy's from this town and this guy's from this, something like bring it a little bit more together.
Yeah. Well, I'll say from a showrunner's point of view, this gives them the multiple companions, gives them a chance to see who works and what works. When there's an announcement, Matt Smith is going to have whoever. Those are the 2. That's who you're stuck with until at least a half a season or so because they need to get their run as a companion. These you could kill one off pretty easily and still then the show wouldn't lose much steam at all or change direction. It wouldn't have to change direction. So that might be a way to do that.
It also has because they know each other and in the way it's done, and I want to say, and I've only watched it once. I don't know that I'm going to go back and rewatch it real soon because wasn't blown away with it. I think she even mentions the word family. Somebody mentions family. This feels like a family.
Yeah.
2 of them are related now, lawfully anyway, and the other 2 went to school together as children.
Right.
So there's definitely a sense of grandpa, grandson, granddaughter kind of a feel to it.
Right.
And the Doctor, of course, originally traveled with a granddaughter, so it could be interesting. We'll see how it goes.
I didn't like, and I don't know if this is going to be a symptom of what we have in front of us, but I didn't like how, I was looking for the same payoff you were, but definitely in the script, how they were, she started to call herself the Doctor, couldn't get the word out, couldn't think of what the word was, did that a couple times, and then when she actually said, "I'm the Doctor," that was the thing, it wasn't like a big moment. It wasn't something from her that I thought was, I don't know, ground shattered or anything.
Yeah.
It was just, I'm the doctor.
It didn't give me goosebumps.
No, I did like when she said she said something to the effect of what she does. She sees something wrong and tries to fix it. She tries to help people along the way. That's what her job is, or something like that. I'm completely paraphrasing, but I thought that was kind of some cool dialogue. But the big doctor moment. Nah.
The pieces for a great Doctor run, I believe, are all here. It just needs to gel. It got taken out of the oven a little too long, or they served it without letting the meat rest for 10 minutes or whatever. There's a lot of stuff going on. My two big things though that I'll harp on is the bad guy was so badly done that it hurt her initial showing and almost makes the Doctor seem weak, that she can't take care of. I mean, she did take care of it, but such a punk, such a thug kind of a character. And then her not having, I think, a key aha moment for me.
Yeah.
And because the other showrunners had given me that moment, I expected her to have it. And as you said, she does have it, I guess, because she does finally say, I'm the Doctor. But when she does it, there isn't, that crescendo that goes with it.
The thing is, she's the only person in that scene who knows who or what the Doctor is.
Yes.
Okay, you're a doctor, fantastic. So every other time that's kind of happened to me anyway. And maybe that's a tough call because I can't think of first episodes for each Doctor. But when he says he's the Doctor to a bunch of Daleks or a bunch of Cybermen or whatever, there's gravitas there.
Yeah.
It's built in.
Smith's was by far the best, and he got Amy Pond for the first time. So there's ways to do it, that you could do it with an established companion, and then Smith does it with a non-established companion.
I don't know if you can ever beat Amy Pond and Smith.
Man, that is tough. Jeez.
That's the bar right there.
That is going to be hard.
The way that was set
we'll
up.
See. But again, in all fairness, I enjoyed it. I've been without my Who for a long time now. I'm happy that it's back, and hopefully the showrunners will give us some more than what we saw. Because if their big shtick is we're not going to use anything from the past, and you're going to just regurgitate these really bad 80s style bad guys,
that wasn't a good one.
you're going to have to work a little harder.
Hopefully it gets better. But I still like it.
Thank you for taking the time. I mean, that was a little more in depth than what we go into some stuff.
That's
I was
right.
really
Big deal.
excited about that one. So you got a list. What do you want? Hit something up here.
First time we got Mike.
About 10 minutes.
Oh,
That sounds. I heard 15. Okay.
what the?
I mentioned Black Lightning. Also, Flash debuted this week.
Okay.
It was really good.
Back to back, aren't they?
They are both on Tuesdays. Yes.
Yeah.
It was good. Good episode. We see his new costume. We actually get to see his first season costume. He has to put that on in one of the the first encounters that he has, and he's complaining. He's like, this is tighter than it used to be. He was kind of playing up on that a little bit, and then he gets the brand new one in the ring, which I think is a first.
Oh, really? They actually have the.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
This season has it. Are you caught up on?
I'm behind, and
Okay.
I feel really bad. But they've already spoiled it. Like there's an Impulse has shown up that's not called Impulse.
I don't know what. Well, they called her Excess.
Okay.
But it's their daughter.
Yeah, okay.
And so she's there, and she's a speedster there. It sounds like Wally's going to stick around for a little bit too. I'm not sure. Wally, I know that he did leave the Legends show.
Okay.
So I don't know what if he's floating back and forth or what. But it was good, and again, it's starting to just get into a little bit of time stuff again, which I don't enjoy. She reveals to him that he's going to disappear in the crisis again. And he's like, she reveals to him, and this is all time stuff, and I hate time stuff in TV shows, but she reveals to him that she's she grew up without him. That's why she idolizes him, because he was only there for the first 3 or 4 years of her life. So
It's so sad.
yeah. So now that he knows that he's got to meet his end, I'm sure that's what the season will be about, is preventing that. But whatever. Anyway, it was still good. It was good to see the gang back together and everything, and see all these actors. And Ralph Dibny was not goofy. He was.
He's still around. Wow.
Yeah, oh yeah,
I
he's
didn't know.
a show
I
regular.
only got like 4 or 5 into the last season. I really need to
He's a show regular.
binge and catch up. But I've been watching. I finished Atypical. If you haven't seen Atypical yet, I highly
Not-
recommend Atypical
not
from
the second
Netflix.
season.
Really good, a lot of fun, and a good season overall. Just the Netflix thing, they do things right, and you have character growth, and then circle and completion. So I've enjoyed that quite a bit. I did catch the first episode of Speechless, which is the DeMeo family. Have you seen that?
I don't think so.
It's was it Minnie Driver?
Oh yeah, I did. I know what you're talking about.
English.
That's on.
Might not be Minnie Driver. I might have the wrong name on that.
No,
but
you're right. Absolutely right. Minnie
and
Driver.
the gentleman from Big Bang Theory, who plays Kulwicki.
Sure.
Either way, so very funny show, comedy, 30 minutes, and recommend that. Superstore returned. Have you seen Superstore?
Never.
It's Walmart, Target, Kmart. Very funny. Good return on that as well. So a lot of things are coming back. Bob's Burgers has come back, but I have not seen the first episode of that yet because I'm waiting. I'm waiting because it's special.
Sure.
I love Bob. Love
Glad.
Bob. I love Bob and his burgers.
Do you?
I do.
Is that it?
You have a giant list.
I know. Thanks. Just quick hits then. Ryan Coogler just signed to go ahead and write and direct Black Panther 2. That's kind of a no-brainer. I can't imagine any reason
The amount of money it made.
why he wouldn't.
Any clue what the time frame is?
It's going to start production in late 19, early 20. So it's going to.
So he's got to write it pretty quick.
It's going to be a while.
Alrighty. Coogler was the director, and did he write? He co-wrote, I think,
Probably.
the first one. So groundbreaking stuff, made a lot of money.
Sure.
I don't see how number 2 makes less money, so should be exciting.
Yeah. In the same avenue, James Gunn, who was ousted from Disney and Marvel.
Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2.
Yeah. And the rumor is they're still going to shoot his number 3 script. He's just not going to be on. He's not going to be directing. That's just the rumor. They haven't named a director yet either. They got to find a director who's willing to do that.
They've kind of just all of a sudden Guardians of the Galaxy, which was slated, is now unslated,
Right.
And is floating in limbo,
Right.
Which is too big a franchise, I think, to leave.
Oh no, they can't
Doing
do that.
that,
No.
you got Chris Pratt involved. You
Yeah.
got some big name actors.
Yeah, they have to.
So you got to
they
do
have get
something
busy.
with that.
They have to get busy.
But Gunn has been approached by DC,
Right.
to write a Suicide Squad 2 script,
Right.
and then have the option, if he wants to direct that script.
Correct.
All of a sudden, they give a damn about the DC universe.
Yeah, it's definitely. And they've described it as a soft reboot, meaning we probably won't get all the characters. It'll happen in the same universe.
Sure.
They're not just starting over.
We'll get a Harley.
I
We'll get a
imagine
Deadshot.
and probably Amanda Waller. I think those are the 3 that you'll
Yeah.
see. But who knows? He's good. You know.
He is.
He's
money.
He is money.
He's so money.
He's so money.
He doesn't even know how much money he is.
He doesn't know how money he is.
So
You're right.
looking forward to that. That's going to be incredible. And then not only that, but immediately Dave Bautista
Right.
via social media raises his hand. I want in.
Sign me up. Is what he said.
Just whoever's involved, I want in. And then the fans were like, Bane, 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 Bane. And so I'm like, man, I don't know that doesn't work. I had a couple other characters for him in mind, but
he's been trying. Do you remember the comic? And this is
I do.
30 years old, I bet.
If anybody here is going to,
Body bags.
I do remember that.
Okay,
Ooh,
he's
man.
been trying to get that made.
Oh, that's Batista.
Yeah,
That's rough.
he wants
stuff.
to do that. I like that comic.
I know you did, and it wasn't a bad comic. I'm cringing because of the
Right.
material. It was
Oh.
for the time.
Sure.
It was rough.
Yes.
That was rated
R.
NC-17 Deadpool kind of
Yeah.
black humor before.
I listened to him on
Launch.
a
And this
podcast a
was-
couple of weeks ago, and he was just talking about, hey, what are you doing? What are you up to? He's like, well, I'm just trying to get this made. It's been
And
tough.
it makes sense. He'd be.
It'd be good.
You have to get a younger female character that can pull that off.
Sure.
and That's
they're
man.
everywhere. They're everywhere. Swing
Very,
it.
very excited about that news. Out of all the news that we've got this week of actual news,
Yeah.
that was probably the most exciting piece for me was Gunn
Oh, yeah.
landing at DC on Suicide Squad. Can you imagine if he'd done the first one?
Now this is just a little more than a rumor, nothing else yet. But Russo brothers apparently have been contacted.
Who are the Russo brothers?
The Russo brothers did my favorite Cap movies, and they did the Avengers and all that.
Big directors
stuff.
for Marvel.
Yes, they're at the Gunn level. They are world builders and really good at what they do. Approached about possibly handling the X-Men when they finally do come into the Disney fold. So that's a possibility, and they would be good at it. I think they'd be good at whatever they do. But
So you want them to show run, direct,
yeah,
get casting,
handle the
X-Men.
reboot, handle the whatever.
So now this just goes into supposition. So Get rid of that.
My list.
I know, but leading into this then means the writing on the wall is that the Fox Disney deal ends or begins January 1st.
Okay, I don't know.
Is what the number on the calendar is looking like, January 1st.
Okay.
X-Men Dark Phoenix is listed to come after January 1st, and has got trailers out. People have seen them. Incredibly underwhelming trailers. Nothing that's been seen or said looks to be positive.
Correct.
Disney looks to be, before it comes out, in control and will own, I believe, that movie.
I don't know.
I don't know. You know, it could be a deal where all the stuff coming out still belongs to old Fox or however it works, Sony. But if Disney has a chance, do they scrap this?
Yeah, no.
Do they just put the kibosh on this last movie, put it out direct to video, or even maybe just direct to their streaming site? Because that would be kind of a big deal. But here's my thing. It looks like a pile of crap.
Yeah.
It looks horrible.
It does.
Do we owe it to the fans to put out this last movie so there's maybe closure? Is there closure in it? Do we maybe spend another 10 or 15 million to film some kind of closure-esque thing to bring it unto an end? Thank you for the support for 4 or 5 movies.
Oh, sure.
On this, and go, now, but it's chum in the water for Great Whites. It needs to die.
Yeah. Jackman has played this role like 9 or 10 times. So it's that many movies. Let's call it that. That franchise has been around for a while. So I think people seem to think incorrectly that there'll be some type of X-Men or Fox tie-in to the Avengers 4, and there won't be. But it's more likely that there might be some type of Marvel tie-in to the end of this Dark Phoenix, where they use that as we're pushing this away. This is the end of this, but this is how we do it. Is whether it's a Secret Wars type of thing or whether it's something with Dark Phoenix where she rips something in half and now the
reality.
It's hard to say at this point. I have faith in Kevin Feige, and I think he'll make it work. However he does it, whether they decide to just scrap the movie, I think that won't happen. At the very minimum, it'll be on the streaming service. As subscribe to our streaming services, and this is the only place you'll be able to see the farewell to the Fox.
That really
Fox
seems
X-Men.
like a good use of that for me, because I don't think if it goes to the theater, maybe it makes money, maybe it breaks even, but it's just going to be a down note no matter how you look at it. I don't believe for a second that this is going to be a positive situation for anybody involved. I don't believe this helps anybody's career. So we'll see, but just let it die.
I'm more interested to see what and how they do than actually to see the movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not excited at all about seeing the movie. It's a tale we've seen before, not told well. Doesn't look like it's gonna be told well this time. There is space stuff involved. They did some shooting in space.
They didn't bother to introduce the character until the last movie, which was also horrible.
Yeah.
And so you're going to get to this. The thing with Phoenix is that's a big character building arc that in the comics took a long time for the payoff.
And it was great drama because of that.
Yes, and instead, every time they try to do this in the movie, they basically try to do it in one film.
Right.
It's like that is never going to work.
And all they've ever said, all they've ever alluded to is just the Phoenix is something, Gene, that's inside of you.
Yeah.
And it looks to me by this preview that Charles is saying, well, I put a wall on it and I'm holding it back, or what I did is holding it back, and if she ever lets it go, then we're all screwed. Well, that's not what the Phoenix is, and that negates the whole story to me.
That's bad. Any word on the New Mutants thing?
Just that it's indefinitely shelved. They haven't they have not done any more reshoots. Like even the normal reshoots that they were scheduled to do have not been done yet.
All right, so we'll see if we ever see that come to life.
Yeah.
Anything you want to finish on, sir?
There's nothing great.
So there's lots of little things.
Yeah, a ton of
we
little
saw the
things.
Glass trailer.
Yeah, that was good.
It looked pretty cool. If you liked the first movie or the second movie,
First movie's in my top 10.
probably going to dig it.
Yeah.
But, again, it's a trailer. We
Sure.
all knew it was coming. No big news there. You got Marvel, Sony wanting a character. That's rumor and conjecture and so much bubbling around that, but we'll see about that.
We'll see. That's it.
DC was doing something with Secret Six TV show.
I don't know anything about Secret Six.
It's a Gail Simone project, kind of like Suicide Squad.
Oh,
it feels
okay.
very similar to Suicide Squad.
Well, they've got a production deal at CBS, which just means they've committed to a pilot.
It'll be interesting.
So we'll see.
Because it's a large cast. It's about 6. So all with weird powers
Sure.
and basically bad guys or ethically challenged
So you think they're
anti-heroes.
Does CBS regret getting out of the superhero business? You think?
Maybe. I mean, they didn't really give it a good shot. Plus, they still have their thing with CW, it appears. So it's almost like they can try out stuff on the big leagues, and then if it doesn't work out but has enough following, they can shoot it over to CW.
Maybe, I don't know.
At this point, you got to look at this, at the momentum that a lot of the superhero stuff is getting, and go, it's the ratings aren't necessarily great, but they're really consistent.
Arrow has to be winding down, so I'm sure that they're looking for something to take that spot.
Could be. All right, everybody. Again, thank you for checking out GeekStorm. I'm Sean. This is Mike. We are here at Kokomo Toys, and we're happy that you joined us today. You have a pleasant Friday.
I was waiting for you to comment.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, everybody. I'm Sean Hilton.
What? Why do you do that? I missed the...
One, you don't even do the clap anymore. You don't do the countdown anymore.
Well,
I just have to be told whether the
That's a production problem. I'm gonna be honest. That's a direction problem.
I just have to be told whether the microphones are live or not. That's really all I gotta. That's all I gotta have.
Fine.
3, 2, 1, go! Hey, everybody! Welcome to Comics Cube's most wonderful thing in the world. We call it GeekStorm. It's done by stuff.
You're the worst. This is the worst.
Yeah.
You've just given up.
Give up.
This is Sean's last show. Hey everybody! Welcome to GeekStorm number 200 and some. 213, he believes. 211 didn't quite make it on the schedule very long. Probably my fault. Not really my fault, but probably my fault.
Complete your fault.
Why
is it not up?
Because he didn't edit it. He didn't edit it when I asked him to edit it. He edited it the second time.
See, I love how the answer doesn't actually answer it. So, Mike, what did you do?
No, that's not what you said. You said, is it your fault?
Is it your fault?
Yeah, no, it's not my fault.
Mike refuses to accept blame for the things that he does.
That's not true. I just did it again.
In episode 211, you cursed.
Yes. And then immediately
No,
after...
stop! Who cursed?
I did.
You did.
Uh-huh.
So, then you asked for it to be edited out.
Like that second. Like I said the bad word.
You're
I
right.
said the bad word.
Yes.
And then I said, Mike, you're going to have to edit that out.
You're right.
So, am I able to edit that out? Am I able to edit that out?
It's not magic. It doesn't magically happen.
No.
You know what could happen? You could have the resistance to not use that kind of language.
You just said
your
the F
potty
word.
mouth.
You just said the F word 8 times.
I don't believe that for a second. I would never. What? Oh, I cannot believe the slanderous things that you were saying about
Hey, where are we?
Today, you know what? Do this whole side. Hey, everybody, welcome to GeekStorm.
You don't get to decide if it sucks.
It did suck.
He gets to decide
That
if
was
it
horrible.
I'm just gonna eat them all.
The blooper reel at the end of the year will be great.
Oh, yeah.